Kulkarni, Consul General of India, Shri Umar Hamid, Chairman, Carpet Export Promotion Council, dear buyers and sellers, Namaste and good morning to everybody. Good evening to those who are joining us from India. We are happy to see a large number of you turning out for this buyer-sellers meet today. I am Madan Kumar, Consul in Indian Consulate, Atlanta. On behalf of Consulate General of India and Carpet Export Promotion Council of India, I welcome all of you to today's buyer-sellers meet. Today's program in brief will include remarks by Consul General of India, Dr. Swati Kulkarni, remarks by Shri Umar Hamid, Chairman, Carpet Export Promotion Council, and a presentation on GI certification for Kashmiri carpets. After that, we will like to listen your experiences, challenges, and expectations. I will now request Dr. Swati Kulkarni, Consul General of India, to give her remarks on the occasion. Madam Kulkarni.
Namaskar. I am pleased to be here at this webinar today. My warm greetings to all of you. As you are aware, my consulate deals with 6 states and 2 territories. So we are expanding our outreach extensively to all these states. And the states are the state of Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, and 2 territories, that is Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands. We have a vibrant Indian American community here. It's over 450,000, and they are a strong and vital bond between India and Southeast USA. Over the years, we have seen significant momentum on trade and investment front. So there are about 160 plus Indian companies that are doing business in this part of the world, both small, medium, and long. Those companies, they all are here, more in manufacturing and also in services sector. So the manufacturing sector have 54 companies and rest are in services. They have invested about $13.5 billion and they have helped in creating 12,500 jobs. Reciprocally, even Southeast USA, they have over 100 companies in India and they are doing a good business. And they are majorly into computer, manufacturing, and industrial services. So what we have seen here, the Indian American community also has invested a lot of money in retail, convenience stores, hotel, motel, bank, and all those sorts of things. So a lot of activities, business activity goes on here. Since a few years, we have seen significant momentum on trade and investment front, which I want to again highlight. And we have seen the overall bilateral merchandise trade growing over the period of years. In 2019, we saw it was $14.5 billion. In 2020, there was a slight contraction. It was $13.4 billion. And this year, it has bounced back sharply. So this year, we have seen it's $17.8 billion. And carpet trade is one of the important component of this bilateral trade. So last year we have seen carpets that were exported from India worth of over $1 billion value. And when I came here in February 2019, nice 40 members from CEPC, they were here and they participated in Domotech's exhibition. So India is well known for its handcrafted carpets and floor coverings. We are popular globally. Our colors, our designs are liked here, and we can even tell from which area of India they have been made. So thankfully, the COVID did not affect this industry much because people were doing work from home, what we call WFH, and carpets gave them sense of comfort at their homes. And this is a very important industry for India because 2 million workforce is there, and they are mainly women workforce. They are from rural India. So this industry directly benefits rural part of India and also the women workforce. So, you know, India is doing good in carpet industry. We are exporting to 70 plus countries, including USA, UK, Australia, and China. As far as the bilateral trade between US and India is concerned, it is set to cross $150 billion this year. And we are relentlessly pursuing that how to double this trade. So Carpet Export Promotion Council has a leading role to play and see those people who are already here, how they can expand it, and those who are not there, how they can come into this market. So those who are not here, they have to understand the US business culture, how the regulatory environment is. Perhaps they can have a CPA form which can handhold them, tell them about labor laws, IPR laws, banking laws, and things like that. So a lot of possibilities are there, lots of opportunities are there because our cooperation, our trade is expanding. So I commend this initiative taken by CEPC. I'm sure this webinar will help us to understand better this better opportunities and how we can see what alliances we can have. It can help us to exchange, communicate, and interact. My consul is here. He deals with commercial matters. So we are here to help you out. We can help you in solving the challenges you may face. So let us build on this communication and see how we can help to grow our trade, to expand it further. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. For next part of our program, we will move over to CEPC New Delhi. I will request Mrs. Smita Nagarkoti, Acting Executive Director, to coordinate the program further.
Thank you, Mr. Madan Kumar. Thank you, Dr. Swati Kulkarni, ma'am. We are very grateful to you for providing an opportunity to the Indian handmade carpet industry to interact on this platform. I am Dr. Smita Nagarkoti, officiating Executive Director, and I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of Carpet Export Promotion Council of India to extend a very warm welcome to the senior officials of the Consul General of India at Atlanta, our eminent speakers representing the Indian handmade carpet industry, the esteemed panel of leading importers of carpets, and dignitaries of the various industries in the US who have all very kindly agreed to be present on this platform today and share their experiences and wisdom acquired over many years being in the US for the benefit of our exporters. I also very warmly welcome the member exporters of our council present with us today and hope that the session today will be very fruitful and productive and will have key takeaways for all of us present here. The last 2 years of the pandemic have brought about revolutionary changes in the way the day to day business is transacted, and it has had a deep impact on the way the world interacts with each other. Connecting virtually seems to be the new normal and has brought the world a lot closer. Although these virtual platforms are not meant to be and will never be a replacement for physical interaction, however, the pandemic times have shown that the virtual platforms work well to provide seamless interaction across boundaries and has proved to be a great tool in generating awareness, which is exactly the purpose of the webinar and the virtual BSM today. On that note, I would like to start the proceedings for the day. Before we start, I would request all the attendees to kindly keep themselves mute. Also request all members who have joined us to please rename themselves to their company's names. Our first speaker for the day, I would like to invite our chairman, Shri Umar Hamid, to kindly share his welcome remarks and take the audience through the marvels and the finesse of the decades-old Indian handmade carpet industry. Umar sir.
Thank you very much, Smita. Good evening, everyone. And good evening to all the panel which is present on the board today. I would like to thank Dr. Swati Vijay Kulkarni ji, Consul General of India in Atlanta, and Mr. Madan Kumar Galdial ji, who is Counsel for Commerce, Education, and Political Press Information, for making this webinar and virtual BSM happen. It gives me immense pleasure to talk about the Indian handmade carpet industry on this platform. And before I start with the presentation, I would like to take you through a short video on the Indian carpet handmade industry.
The Handmade Carpet Export Promotion Council, along with the entire team at the Textile Ministry, is totally focused and pledged to take the story of an Indian artisan or weaver across the world to each household, and most importantly, preserve its respect as an artist, not just as an artisan. After all, a handmade, one-of-a-kind, unique product that adorns our floors is not only totally made of biodegradable products, but also has a long life and has hand of an artisan's family behind it. So next time when you see a handmade rug anywhere, don't forget to see a happy and smiling family somewhere in a village in rural India in it. Passed on from one generation to another. For them, weaving handmade carpets is a tradition and a way of life. But now the rural sector of handmade carpet industry has also grown up to a very modern and competitive manufacturing zone. Handmade carpet industry largely contributes in giving rural employment, and about 2 million plus people are employed in this industry. Besides this, Indian carpet industry is bringing great pride to the weaving community. The handmade carpet business has grown extensively over the last 20 years. It has now become a little more organized. Whether it is hand-knotted, hand-tufted, or chain-stitch rugs, or hand-woven, or hand-loomed, or handmade, or durry, or rag rug, or shaggy, or kiln. There are many different kinds of raw materials used in handmade carpet making, from wool to silk, to cotton, to nylon, to rayon, to bamboo, to hemp, to linen, rags, to recycled saris or jeans, and so much more. There are more processes of making carpet before it is finished. The washing, drying, and burning for the perfect smoothness. In the end, the bonding and tying of the edges. During the entire process of making handmade carpet, every precaution is taken to be environment conscious and friendly. In recent years, the demand for tufted handmade carpet is far more grown than handmade knotted carpet. Handmade tufted carpet can be woven in myriad style and fabric to suit changing trends. The affordability of tufted handmade carpets makes them very popular. There are many medical facilities provided to handmade carpet weavers across India, and primary schooling for the children of the weavers, especially the primary areas of handmade carpet manufacturing like Kashmir, Bhadohi, Agra, Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh, or Jaipur in Rajasthan. They all have one thing in common, and that is crafting India's future through its artisans. The increasing number of countries that are importing the handmade carpets from India is rising further day by day. Indian carpet industry currently has 35% market share for handmade carpet exports globally. This speaks volumes about what future holds for the carpet industry across the world, and most of it from India. We are not leaving any stone unturned to keep this steady growth rate growing. They are helping, educating, and providing every possible support and guidance to handmade carpet manufacturers, artisans, and weavers by providing in-depth understanding in R&D, quality maintenance and delivery of finished products across the globe.
Thank you very much for sharing this video. I'm going to present a very short step-by-step. Mr. Pawan, can you hear me?
We are sharing the presentation, sir.
Yeah,
Just give
can
us
you
a
share
second.
the short
Yeah.
presentation?
We are sharing.
I will talk about the Indian handmade carpet industry, which is an old age, made significant strides in the recent past, and the industry is highly labor intensive, which provides employment to around 2 million workers in the rural areas. We have decentralized cottages based in this rural industry, which provides employment, as Honorable Ma'am said, Swati said, to 2.5 million artisans and their families in rural areas. And this industry of ours is very 100% almost export oriented. And I'm proud to share that we share 35% of the global handmade carpet trade, which is about $2 billion export. About 2 million workforce, mostly are women, rightly said by ma'am again, and we are fully environmental friendly sector. As you know, our government and our council has been working very hard for putting up a carpet clusters throughout the India. The major parts are Uttar Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. As you see on the right of the side screen, all the places are listed about there. And Bhadoi, Mirzapur, Varanasi belt, which are producing hand-knotted, hand-tufted, and hand-woven pile carpets of wool and flat-woven dharis. Jammu and Kashmir, as everybody knows, we are producing the high-knotted, high-range carpets, which we can make after the Iran, which this high quality we make in that part of India. Jaipur and Agra, again, hand-knotted carpets of wool and drudgets, of wool and wool and cotton. And this area of the India, they are using mostly the vegetable dyes. And Panipat again, which is dominated by the hand-tufted carpets and other floor coverings in wool and synthetics also. If we go to the targets, what goals we have achieved in exports till now, you will see the constant growth in every year, except a slight dip in the last year where there was a COVID, but still we have managed to maintain our standards of export, our target of export to the best of our ability. And here I would really like to thank our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Modi ji, who has given us such a dynamic Minister of Textiles, Mr. Piyush Goyal ji, who has put so much of efforts to take the positive accountability from the councils, because we were sitting on hand to hand. He really made us understand what we are up to, what we can do. And we assure to the government of India, definitely we are going to choose to touch our target, which has been set to us for this financial year 2022 and 23, which is about 1,259.37 million in the NAFTA region. Definitely we are going to through that. If you see the GI, which we have introduced in all parts of India, especially, I feel proud in saying that the Kashmir has come up with a GI tagging. We have a wonderful dynamic officer this time there, Mr. Mahmood Shah, under the good governance of the state right now. So I think Mahmood Shah has done a dynamic job for GI tagging in Kashmir right now. And he's going to give his own presentation. And we have 7 products which has been registered under GI: handmade carpets from Bhadoi, Mirzapur carpets and Dari, Kashmir handmade carpets, I was saying. And now we're going Daris, Gazipur wall hangings, Wrangle Daris and Agra Daris. So they add a great value to our product. As you know, we have different designs in carpets. We can say Kashan, Isfahan, Nain. We make in Kashmir, we have Mahal, we have Mir, we have Nain. Actually, these all names are from Iranian regions, like Nain or something like that. And carpet-based design, classifications we go, we have hand knotted silk is there, hand knotted woolen silk is there, hand knotted wool is there, handmade Indo-Nepalese wool is there. We have Indo-Nepalese knots, we can say here. We have tufted, we have in viscose also, or tencel, we can say it. We do hand tufted there, hand knotted viscose, as I said. Woolen viscose, we make carpets, and woolen silk, we make carpets. And there's a great creativity going on in tufted market right now. We have chain stitch rugs also from going on, which comes under our sector. Kilims we are making. There are many classifications. We have great, huge variety. Now, it's about the Indian Carpet Expo. This is one of the largest handmade fairs which is held in Asia. Total 41 shows have been organized till now, up to 2021. In this show, we have approximately 300 buyers coming in from, 300 exhibitors from all over the India, showcasing their wonderful variety of their products. And every year they come with different variety, different designs, different colors as per the fashion, especially from Badoyi, Varanasi, Panipat, Jammu and Kashmir and Jaipur. And B2B event solely focuses on overseas buyers. And in this, I would request our Consulate General to just keep on inviting the buyers for such event, because we had the 42nd Indian Carpet Expo coming from 25th to 20th of March 2022 in New Delhi. And we have provided a special package for all the buyers coming from all over the world, especially for the buyers coming from America. We are providing them $800 cash when they come here, and 2 nights, 5-star hotel accommodations here. So it's not about a package, it's about the journey they will go through in our whole expo. It will be a wonderful experience for them. So I would request Councillor to keep all their websites updated regarding this, and just convince them, because we had a break of 2 years. That's a huge time. With this, I would like to take a leave from you. Thank you very much for joining us. Over to you, Smita, please.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Shri Mahavir Pratap Sharma, who is presently a member of our Committee of Administration. In the past, he's also served as the chairman of CEPC and is a strong advocate of many issues of carpet manufacturers and exporter associations on many government platforms as well as in the media. He is the owner and founder of Oscar Exports and has been in the carpet business for the last 27 years, out of which 6 years have been in the US. He's also a serial entrepreneur and part of umpteen businesses and social organizations, and is a past chairman of Thai Global Board of Trustees and current chair of Thai India Angels and Rajasthan Angels. Today on our platform, he brings with him a wealth of knowledge and experiences, and I invite him to share his thoughts on the opportunities and challenges for the Indian handmade carpet industry in the USA. Mahavir sir, over to you.
Thank you, Smita. Good morning to everyone in the US, and good evening to fellow exporters in India. Always a pleasure to see so many people joining in. Her Excellency, Consul General of India at the Consulate General in Atlanta, Dr. Swati Kulkarni, our Council on Commerce, Madanji. It's always a pleasure. I still remember the warm welcome and a dinner that you had hosted when we were there 3 or 4 years ago at the first Domotex in Atlanta. And we all exhibitors still cherish that evening very, very nicely. So thank you. And thank you again for creating this opportunity between many importers from different sectors, not just the carpet industry, but the hotel industry. And of course, all the exporters who will be exhibiting at the exhibit in New Delhi later in March. So obviously, our chairman, Umar, has quite nicely highlighted the industry. It's a $2 billion exports industry, 35% world leaders in market share. US is obviously the largest partner, 50-some% of exports of Indian handmade carpets are going to the US. And it's not just by chance that all of this has happened. I think India and the US, and especially in handcrafted products, not just handmade carpets, are natural allies. India has this, not only are the artisans and the craftsmen absolutely par excellence in terms of the quality of the products that they create, but I think Indian exporters, Indian designers, Indian manufacturers have this ability to create and adapt very quickly to the market needs. India possibly has the largest range of handmade products, from as low as one can imagine, to as high a not or as high a price point. And it works very well. And also the colors, the designs, the variety that India offers is absolutely fits in perfectly for a country like US, because it's so vast with such a huge landscape, different climates, different needs from New England down to California. There's not a single place that we cannot cover with the colors, designs, textures, price points, etc. So I think it's a natural alignment, and I think it's been working very well for the last 1 decade. India was never the leader, but India is now a leader, and rightfully so, because India has adapted very quickly to various products, adopted to new pricing, adopted to new looks and feels, and I think that's going to continue to grow. I think all our other carpet manufacturing countries that were our competition or are our competition are ceasing to exist in the handmade carpet industry, whether it was China, Pakistan, Nepal, Turkey, Iran, etc., etc. I think India is going to continue to lead. I think it's not far off when India will cross the 50% world market share as far as handmade carpets are concerned. And I think all of us and the government here are absolutely in unison working towards that direction. And we obviously need support from all the importers, all our partners across the world, and US being the #1 partner for Indian handmade carpet is always very supportive. Obviously, communicating, working, traveling into India, marketing, branding, communication. India has a natural ability because of language, of our travel needs that US and buyers need to do. So I think India is obviously poised to grow along with the US. But obviously, every industry has its challenges. Every industry has to cross certain roadblocks. So I'd rather discuss where we are going in the future from here and what we should be doing collectively. And obviously, that's something very important. So 2-3 challenges. Obviously, per capita income in India is increasing. We're losing artisans and craftsmen because of the overpricing of various wages, as we see, because obviously they need to make more money, and the price of the handmade carpet is going up. Obviously, imports of raw material, cost of raw material, cost of other important things that are needed, to make carpets, is increasing. So the cost of handmade carpet is going up. Challenge #1. Challenge #2, of course, the world is struggling with the need of containers, and the price of the shipping and everything has gone up drastically. And I think that's the new world order, where we will have to deal with this situation collectively. And it's not just India, but every country that's struggling with it. And the cost of freight has increased. Lastly, Indian handmade rugs have always had a challenge from machine-made rugs being made in other countries and competing the floor covering market across the world. While India has around 1 billion exports going to the US, 2 billion plus exports of handmade carpets, the machine-made carpet industry is almost 5 to 6 times of that in size. And that obviously, with improved technologies, improved machinery, improved ability to get more and more colors and designs, will always pose a challenge for the Indian handmade industry, especially when it comes to lower or mid-order carpet products. So I think all these are challenges that there exist, but there are solutions. And I think we at the CEPC, the Government of India, along with all of the manufacturers, exporters, and importers are working on it. So a few things that I think we should be doing going forward. One, of course, is machine-made carpets cannot make material products. So how we make wool and silk, wool and bamboo silk, wool and viscose, we can do cotton, and so the look and feel, machine mades can only most likely be made with just one material, whether it's wool, whether it's artificial fibers. But so we need to focus more on our ability to look and feel and design, which has multi-material products. So we will have to be able to compete with the industry. Obviously, our prices, our wages have to go up. I think we need to rework on our pricing. We really need to work collectively with our importers to deal with the gradual price hikes over the years, not only in production of carpets and freight, but also so that we can gradually increase the standard of living and the ability of people to grow in India. So that's something that we have to collectively work on. Lastly, I feel that, and we have just we're probably going to be meeting the Honorable Minister of Textiles and Commerce and Industry in a few days. We're proposing that we need to create a brand India. We need to collectively market and showcase how a handmade rug, or the journey of a handmade rug in India, and we need to really collectively brand in our handmade carpets. And there should be, like how tourism from India is promoted, no hotel, no city or art or performing arts are performed. So I think we should collectively have a brand of Indian handmade carpets, which we all should proudly be able to display on our handmade carpets, which all importers or all carpets across the globe should have. And I think that will educate the consumer. That will help our importer friends to actually tell them that we do need, so the pull factor that is needed from the consumers would only come by educating them on how nicely, precisely, and great work of art that handmade carpets are. And with multi-material options, as the video had showcased, we can actually create a much better, much easier, customizable, different shapes and sizes, which other competing machine-made carpets cannot do. So we should optimize on our strengths. We should optimize on collectively marketing and branding the Indian handmade carpet industry. And I think we can collectively grow together, taking our artisans and craftsmen along with us, because their pride, their respect, and their value for their time has to be equally important as it is to all manufacturers, exporters, and importers. And I thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to speak. I look forward to a growth in the Indian handmade carpet industry from 2 billion to at least 5 billion in the next 3 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahavi sir. Thank you for highlighting where there are challenges, there are many easily attainable solutions as well. And your remarks are, as always, very insightful. Thank you. Moving forward, we have our next speaker is Shri Mahmood Ahmed Shah. He's the Director, Handicrafts and Handloom at Kashmir. He has been associated with handicraft industry for many years, and under his visionary leadership, many initiatives have been taken. The most recent being the GI tagging of Kashmir carpets. I would like to invite him to enlighten our audience on the invaluable treasure of incredible India geographical indication. Mahmood sir.
Thank you, madam, for giving me a chance to present this small presentation. Greetings from Jammu and Kashmir to all the participants to this important webinar on carpets of India. Would I request madam to kindly start the presentation? Thank you. So this presentation takes inspiration from Honorable Prime Minister, who has been promoting our handicrafts. Here he is donning the famous Kashmiri Kani shawl. You must be aware. Can we go back? Can we go back? Yeah. You must be aware that Srinagar was declared as the UNESCO Creative Cities, was brought into the Creative Cities Network list for crafts and folk art. So Honorable PM was kind enough to tweet, and his words continue to be a source of inspiration for us. Next, please. So carpets have always been coveted by kings and queens, and here we have a slide when Maharaja Ranjit Singh was presented with carpet, his Kashmiri carpet, his joy knew no bounds. So that is how the Kashmiri carpets and Kashmiri handicrafts have been a source of joy, and they have always been coveted by the people across the world. Next, please. So the history of carpets goes back to the 14th century, when the craft was introduced by Sayyid Ali Hamdani, who was a Sufi saint and who visited Kashmir from Hamadan along with his disciples. So he is credited with introducing this craft to Kashmir, and since then this craft has attained new heights. Next, please. As you are aware that the Talim, it's a coded language, which by virtue of which the artisan is able to translate it into weaving. What we have done is that we have also computerized this whole archaic Talim, and now we have a database of almost all the designs that are being currently made, and also the designs which are no longer being, which of course were not being practiced, and which have been credited with the term which was called as the Mughal Kalins. Next, please. So then the advent of machine making happened, and carpets were being manufactured on machine, and this caused a lot of conflict between the machine made and handmade products. So in order to address this concern, what we have done is that we have started the GI process. Next, please. And this intervention was much needed, and we started the GI process way back in 2012-13. And finally, last month, we were able to launch the GI of Kashmir hand-knotted carpet. And Honorable LG was kind enough to launch this GI tagging of the Kashmir carpets. Next, please. What we have done is that it's a QR code based application, and what we do is that we get the carpets to our institute called Indian Institute of Carpet Technology, where the various parameters of carpet are captured, and they are then fed into the computer, and then we affix the GI label on each carpet, and then what we are able to, by virtue of this, what we are able to do is that all the vital parameters of carpet are captured in this QR code, and anybody can scan the QR code label and will be able to access the vital parameters of the carpet. What has happened is that the consumer, what we felt is that the consumer trust was eroding, because we had not bought certification into the carpets. So by virtue of this, we endeavor to regain the trust which was lost. And of course, we acknowledge the fact that there was a lot of misbranding, and machine-made carpets were misbranded as handmade carpets, and that had created a lot of doubts in the minds of customers. So in order to address that, we have bought this QR code-based application. Next, please. Not only carpets, but we have Kashmiri shawls. Kashmiri Pashmina is famous world over. We have also GI tagged Kashmir Pashmina as well. In addition, we have a Kani shawl also, which are being made of Pashmina. We have GI'd the Kani shawls as well. Next, please. So what we did is that we, here's a label of the GI of our Kashmir Pashmina. And what we have done is that we have consistently promoted the GI of all the handicraft products that have been GI'd. And this campaign has shown results. And right now what's happening is that our labs of Pashmina lab, which is Pashmina Testing Quality Control Center, is being overwhelmed by the handicraft items, because now what's happening is that customers are beginning to demand GI certified products, and that's exactly what we wanted. And once we started this process of GI, we had made two societies. One is Tahafuz, and other is a society named as Miras. Tahafuz has a GI for 6 crafts, and Miras has a GI for the carpet craft. So what we have done is that we have made the artisans the custodian of this GI. So these artisans who make these wonderful products are the custodians of this GI application. Next, please. So right now, we have the GI for the 6 crafts, which is Pashmina, Kani, Sozni, Paper Mache, Khatam, Walnut, plus the 7th craft is the carpet, which we are talking about. In addition, we are in process of GI labeling chain stitch, tapestry, copperware, houseboat, Kashmir willow, because we also make some famous bats. It's not only the bats which are made of English willow only. Kashmir also grows willow, so a lot of bat manufacture happens here. Zari embroidery and Kashmir tweed. What we have right now done is that our dossier for Kashmir Namda, Kashmir Wagyu, and Kashmir Shikara is ready, and it has been submitted to GI Chennai. Next. So what we are design intervention and upgradation of design is very important. And right now what we are doing is that we are working with a whole section of designers and trying to up the game in the design. And because it's very important to understand the requirements of various markets, what's relevant in America will not be relevant in Europe, and what's relevant in Europe will not be relevant in Middle East. So we need to understand the requirements of different markets and come up with the designs catering those specific markets. Next, please. One of the interventions which I would like to highlight here is one of the young entrepreneur from Kashmir. What he has done is he has diversified. He has started making pashmina carpets. Of course, during the Mughal era, we used to make pashmina carpets, and this art of making pashmina carpet had almost died out. But Mr. Shahnawaz, what he did is that he started making pashmina carpets. Of course, they are very costly, but they have a very niche market. And this is one of the very welcome interventions which he has made. And in addition, what he is doing is that he is using natural dyes. And what's more interesting is that he's using Kashmir saffron to make some of his dyes. So his carpets are top of the line products which are being sought by some of the elite customers across the world. Next, please. The support, of course, the industry requires support. And what we have done is that we have made some interventions in the carpet sector. We have announced the minimum support price, both for carpets and for pashmina, so that there is no distress sale. Because in the last 2 years, because of the COVID pandemic, we have not been able to do the exhibitions. We have not been able to participate in events and in exhibitions. As a result, the inventory has piled up. In order to stop the distress sale, we have announced the minimum support price. We have also come up with an export incentive. Anybody who exports handicraft, GI certified handicrafts overseas is entitled to 10% of the incentive. So that's one of the interventions which we have done, and we hope that by virtue of this intervention, the exports will show an increase. Besides, we are in process of also establishing clusters in villages. So one of our clusters which we are working towards is to establish a carpet village in the areas where the carpet, the number of artisans is very high. So we are looking in areas like Bandipora and Patan area in Baramulla, where the artisan concentration is high, and these clusters, common facility centers can come up, so that we are able to ensure the migration of carpets from unorganized to organized sector. Because if we have to ensure the increase in the production of the carpets and ensure that the craft becomes attractive for the artisans, we need to move to organized sector. Right now, our carpet sector is in an unorganized form. So the sooner we do, the sooner we migrate it from unorganized to organized, this industry will get a boost. Next, please. So we have about 52,000 artisans who are registered with the department, and we have right now we operate a series of centers across the length and breadth of the Union Territory, and we have trained about more than 15,000 young boys and girls in the craft, and plus the department also runs about 390 centers where we teach the carpet making, and we also teach the other handicrafts. So we have already talked about 10% incentive, and this incentive is specifically aimed to ensure the exports take off, and plus it is applicable to GI certified products. And of course, the carpet is our flagship product. And since we have started this GI tagging, so our exporters can avail this benefit of incentivization on the exports of 10%, to the extent of 10%. Next, please. We are not stopping at GI certified products. So what we have done is that we are coming up with QR code based applications where we will be stamping or tagging the products which are yet to be GI labeled. For example, Kashmir copper is being manufactured by hand, as well as there's a machine intervention also. Likewise, the chain stitch is being manufactured on machines, as well as it is being made on hand. So in order to distinguish till we secure the GI tag, we are in process of coming up with a hologram based label for copper, a QR code based label for chain stitch and other products, in order to distinguish them from the machine. Because what we have found is that there is a lot of misbranding happening, and not only the tourists, but even some of the people are also exporting machine made stuff in the garb of their labeling, sending it across as handmade. So in order to distinguish between the two, we are coming up with the certification and labels and hologram based applications so as to distinguish between the two. Next, please. We have an institute called Indian Institute of Carpet Technology. We are in process of strengthening this Indian Institute of Carpet Technology to give a flip to the carpet sector. We are coming up with the Common Facility Center of dyeing and other facilities. We are also augmenting its design bank. We are also enhancing its manpower capabilities so that more and more carpets are have to be GI labeled, design have to be expand, the horizon of the designs has to be expanded, and other facilities have to come up. So that's how we are trying to give an institutional support to the sector. Next, please. We have started the day we did the GI labeling. On the same very day, we started a 360-degree promotional campaign. We have started with the radio jingles. We have started the outdoor campaign. We have also started the print and the social media campaign in order to ensure that maximum dissemination of GI for carpets is known to the customers. So I take this opportunity of this presentation to send this message across that the customer should be aware, not only within the country but abroad also, so that they ask for the GI labeled carpets. Next, please. We are also trying to promote the the handicrafts through mementos, and that's how we are trying to promote our craft, and that's how we were very recently in Dubai, and all the mementos which were presented by the Honorable LG were made by our handicraft artisans. So that's again a message which we are trying to disseminate, is that all our these handicrafts have to be promoted both within the country and across to the diaspora. Next, please. We are working very closely with the CEPC. We are also working close with Kashmir Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We have already made this. We have been in touch with our consulate in Germany, Frankfurt and Munich, because Germany happens to be our largest carpet importers. Our 60% of the carpet exports happen to Germany, and that's why that's very important to stay in touch with that market. And next, please. When we are talking about Germany, America happens to be a very important market, and I take the opportunity of this presentation to point out to the fact that American market is very important to us, and we need to understand the dynamics of the American market so that our exports to America go up. It's a huge and immense market which needs to be tapped, and hopefully we will be participating in the exhibitions, carpet exhibitions, especially in the carpet exhibitions which are held in America. Next, please. As I mentioned in the first slide, that Srinagar was declared as the UNESCO Creative Cities for Craft and Folk Art. It's a very welcome development. And in order to celebrate that, we have launched a series of craft tours, and we have made a lot of digital content. And what we will be doing is that we'll be sharing with the consulate also. We'll be tagging their handles as well, so that by virtue of this, the UNESCO listing, we are not only able to pitch our handicraft products, but also aim to promote through tourism the craft safaris as well. Next, please. We talked about the local handmade mementos as well. That's how we are again trying to promote our craft, not only to the countrymen, but also to the diaspora as well. Next, please. We have also come up, we are conscious of the fact that our products are usually not packed very well. We have worked with NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology, and we have try different elements to pack our products, especially the carpets and other handmade products. So our packing, the handicrafts has also shown considerable degree of improvement. Next, please. So some of the packing themes which we have come up. Next, please. Preserving the skill set, the valley is blessed with a very unique skill set. Our carpets, paper mache products, pashmina products, kani shawls, walnut wood carving. So the valley is blessed with a very unique skill set which needs to be preserved for posterity. This will be preserved for posterity only when our exports grow and when the maximum benefits flow to the artisans. We are also coming up with an e-commerce platform where we will try to connect the artisans directly with the customers. We are working on that. We require your support and cooperation to promote the arts and crafts of Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you. With this, I conclude my presentation.
Thank you, sir, for letting our audience know about the various interventions and the initiatives taken. We know technology and skills, when we know both of them are coming together, we sure know that India's pride, India's crafts, and India's artisans are sure to boom in the times ahead. Thank you once again. Now, moving on from the speakers of the Indian carpet industry, it's time to shift the perspective and to hear the experience, thoughts, challenges faced, opportunities ahead from the leading importers of the US. I would like to invite Mr. Satya Tiwari. Mr. Satya Tiwari is president of Surya Carpets since 2006. The company was established in 1976 by his father, Shri Surya Tiwari, in North India. Under his leadership, Surya Carpets has grown from a small firm to become a famous name in the carpets and rugs business in the USA. Mr. Satya Tiwari, president of Surya, was selected as a finalist for the E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year 2017 award in the Southeast USA. The award honors outstanding business leaders who are excelling in areas such as innovation, financial performance, and personal commitment to the businesses and communities. May I request him to share his experiences, challenges, and expectations with us? Mr. Tiwari.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to everyone in India. I want to thank the Atlanta team to organize this. I'm a product of carpet industry myself. I was born in Bhadoi, as many of you may already know. And my father started Surya in India in early 70s and in US in 86. And this is before 1991. So you can imagine to open a US office in India in 86 was very challenging. So today I feel like, Mr. Sharma has eloquently highlighted some of the challenges we face, and challenges equals opportunity. I feel like I've been involved in this business since 2004. The Indian manufacturers, the Indian carpet industry, I believe, has done a great job of evolving through machine-made challenges, how we differentiate ourselves and also make us relevant. So I feel like that's something that, we should continue to do. I think the importer community in the US definitely understands India as a craft. It's not just a a carpet or a rug. It's a craft, it's a story, it's tradition. It helps us differentiate ourselves in a big way. So me being an Indian, and I'm still an Indian citizen, being an Indian, I think it's proud for me that I'm on this side of the equation, helping it to grow. So I think the two areas that I feel like we can be, it can be immense help for an importer. One, how do we create a story, right? So you have Rugmark, you have Good Weave. These guys are creating a label that is irrelevant, I think. I think the government or CEPC, how do we create a brand which talks about, what the Indian carpet, the value chain is? I think you guys are already on the path, but anything we can help, I think that's very important. Consumer today does not have the time to be educated at the purchase level. So the more marketing we can do prior to purchase definitely differentiates, right? And today with social media, I mean, the things are to create a brand and a story about Indian carpets or Indian arts. With the social media today, it's a lot inexpensive and it's a lot faster creating a brand today. So I definitely feel like that's something that we all should explore together. It will differentiate and will educate the consumer. The second part, supply chain. I really think that, so we from Surya, US, we bring containers from all over the world. India is one of our most challenging to get containers. So Turkey is a big market for us. We bring lots of product. It's not as challenging. So I don't understand myself what's the global supply chain and why India is more challenging. So I feel like that's something we definitely need help. I mean, our customers cannot wait for products for long, and it's not even up for the price. It's just the delivery. So supply chain and I think the story of the craft are two things that are utmost important. And anything I can do, anything other importers can do, we definitely would love to help you guys. So thank you for your time, and it's my pleasure. So I'll pass it to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Satya. I would now like to invite Mr. Shekhar Gupta. Shekhar Gupta is the president and CEO of Devgiri US, which is the US wholesale import and distribution division for Devgiri Exports and ABC Industries, one of the largest rug and home textile manufacturing groups in India. Mr. Shekhar graduated from Sri Ram College of Commerce at Delhi University and did his MBA from Bangalore before moving to Atlanta to set up Devgiri US in 2008. We are eager to hear you, Mr. Gupta. Over to you.
Thanks, Smita, and thanks the Indian Consulate team for putting this together. There have been so many great speakers before me, and I would like to add only a couple of points to what Mr. Sharma had to say earlier, and obviously what Satya put together. Is the one point I would add is sort of being fairly new to the industry. I've only been in the industry 12 to 13 years, and most of that has been spent here in the US doing the marketing and understanding the US customer. Sometimes I feel that we ignore the productivity side of things. And Mr. Sharma, you brought up around the cost challenges and new weavers are not joining the business and sort of the cost going up. I feel like there is an opportunity for India and our manufacturers to look at how can we enhance the productivity, whether it's through training, through mix of hand and machine, through better facilities. I think we are in this mindset that this is a traditional industry, and we should do everything we can to promote that. But at the end of the day, the US consumer moves very fast. And in the age of social media and e-commerce, it's moving even faster. So how do we ensure that our manufacturing teams in India are keeping up pace? Doesn't mean that we have to give up the handmade artisan, but we have to provide them the tools to become faster. So how we mitigate some of the costing challenges, how do we get new people to join? How do we make it a more respectable profession? Because that's the only way to raise the standard of living and make this into a more sustainable industry. I completely agree with all of the points that Mr. Sharma and Satya have made. I'm fully on board with the branding idea. I think that's a very good idea. And I would like to do everything that we can as a group to promote that, support that with the ministry, with our customers here, and fully on board with that. But don't want to take up too much time. Just wanted to add that last point around productivity.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. I would now like to invite Mr. Nitin Shah. Mr. Nitin Shah is a successful hotelier and a successful banker. He was the founder and chairman of the Asian American Hotel Owners Association in 1993, which is the largest hotel owners association in the US with nearly 20,000 members, who together own 60% of the hotels in the United States. In addition to his hospitality business, Mr. Nitin Shah founded Embassy National Bank, located in Georgia, and currently serves as its chairman. May I invite Mr. Shah to kindly address our audience, sir? If you could kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. Dr. Swati Kulkarni, the Dynamic Council General of Atlanta, and Madan Kumar and all the stalwarts of the carpet industry. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm speaking on behalf of almost 60% of the hotel industry. We in America have about 52,000 hotels, and we Indians own about 60% of that industry. So when I hear this, I see the opportunity for Indian carpet manufacturers, whether it's handcrafted or it's machine made. It's a huge opportunity, and we Indians here in America always like to help India. And what a better way to do that than to buy Indian products. So my suggestion is somehow not only attend export conferences for carpet only, but all the manufacturers should come under the Brand India concept for the carpet industry and represent yourself at the hotel industry conference. Like we have conference coming where we have 4,000 hoteliers joined under one roof for 3 days. We have almost 350 exhibitors come in, and I think it'll be a great place where you can not only exhibit your products, but it'll be nice to see somebody making a carpet. It'll be almost like a fun thing to watch. So I think the opportunity is absolutely exponential in America. We as a hotel owner just happens to own 60% of it. Nowhere in the world this industry owns so much, and we have the highest number of hotels. That's number one point. Secondly, I think some of the speaker made it clear, majority of the hotels we own are branded. Either they are Marriott, Hilton, or Holiday Inn, which is Intercontinental Hotels. When we buy the carpets, we have to get their approval. And their approval is based on the design that exists during that particular time. And in America, as the other gentleman said, every few years, the design changes. It used to be very laid back, beige color carpet. Now it has come to the design. It's very contemporary in the nature. While in the lobby, in the meeting rooms, in the corridors, you can still have handcrafted rugs and whatnot. So the opportunity is there for both handcrafted in the public areas, what I call it, and in the machine made in the rooms. And in Georgia, where I am and where Dr. Swati Kulkarni is in Atlanta, Dalton is the headquarters of the carpet world in America. So you could not be at a better place to promote this in terms of getting Indian carpets sold to Indians. Now, having said how big the opportunity is, having said how big the opportunity is, I think there are some challenges that we all face in terms of the logistic. When we order the carpet from India, we want to make sure it arrives in time for new hotels to open or new hotels to renovate. We want to make sure the payment system is correct, where when we send the money, we sure that the payment is coming and there is no fraud or there is no delay and stuff like that. So a lot of hotel owners are worried about that. If I order something from India, whether it'll come in time, whether the quality will be there or not. And remember, we have to respond to the franchisor. So therefore, make sure the quality is meeting their standards. So these are the challenges I see, but the opportunity is extremely great. And tourism, craft tourism idea was extremely good. We all visit to Kashmir. We would love to visit Kashmir. And if we can combine the leisure with the business, that'll be a great trip. Dr. Narendra Modi used to have a delegation when he was CM of Gujarat, and our hotel owners, we used to go there, hotel owners delegation to Gujarat, and we used to go to different states. I think you can create the same delegation for hotel owners to visit the carpet industry. That'll be extremely great. I'm open to any questions, but I'm talking from the buyer side. And that's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for highlighting the opportunities available for the exporters in the hotel industry in the US, emphasizing the need to innovate on the designs and also emphasizing to work on the logistics. The points have all been taken. Thank you for your comments. I would now request Mr. Nikhil from Walmart, who's joined, if we could have your brief remarks and comments. Mr. Nikhil?
Hi, Nikhil had dropped off. I'm Amara Deepa. I'm from Walmart too.
Yeah. So could we have some kind of comments from your side, Amardeepa?
Yeah, sure. So I don't want to take much time, but just quickly say that Walmart has over 20 years of history of sourcing from India and already exports more than 3 billion worth of made in India goods each year to 14 markets worldwide. So India is one of Walmart's top sourcing markets, and in 2022 we committed to do even more. I'm sure you must have all heard the commitment from Doug to triple our exports of made in India to 10 billion annually by 2027. So we are on the right trajectory, and we're working with different vendors across the country to see what we can do to get to this goal. So this is it. I mean, if you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. We'll be taking the question answers towards the end. I can see a number of buyers who have also joined. If there's anyone who would like to give their comments, remarks, Mr. Paul. Mr. David, I can see Mr. David. We are eager to hear your side, sir.
Good morning, everybody. David Galt here. I'm speaking today on two businesses. We have been a buying agent for 25 years in India. We have 4 offices there. We work with importers and retailers all over the world. So we have been involved in millions of dollars of transactions of Indian textile products, particularly in the rug industry. We have been involved in that for almost from our inception. So I just want to give you a couple. You've got some titans of the industry on this call, and that particularly I would also like to thank Mr. Kumar and Dr. Kulkarni for promoting India, especially here in Georgia, which is really the center for not only, as Mr. Shah said, the traditional carpet business, but also for the center of Indian entrepreneurs who have come into this country and have really transformed the landscape in all of their energy and creativity. So just to give you a quick upshot of the US buyer, they are more interested right now, particularly in natural fibers. There is a huge surge in transitioning homes from wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors. So they would like to have carpets and rugs instead of traditional polyester carpeting. Natural fibers, anything integrated with natural fibers, wool and cotton seem to be absolutely the most popular models being picked. I'd also like to just say during this pandemic situation for the last 2 years, hopefully now we're over that, I would encourage you to be very liberal if your buyer wants samples because they're not traveling. We have had a very successful couple of years with vendors who are able to make 5 pieces, send them to their buyers, send them to our clients, who are then getting them new and fresh ideas into the market. So that is worked out very, very well. I encourage all of you to do that. I would also like to bring up, since we do have a lot of people, that yes, the transit times from India to the US continue to be a very big stumbling block, as far as making sure that when we have markets that are in January and July, that most buyers want to have that product delivered before the next trade show. So getting things to market, being liberal with your samples, using air freight where needed, we strongly suggest that, and getting your product to market. I'd also have another role. I am on the board of directors of the Georgia Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. We have over 500 members of entrepreneurs and business people here in Georgia. And our job is to help promote business between India and the state of Georgia, and in Dr. Kulkarni's auspices, also Southeast USA. We can help you not only find professional attorneys, accountants, if you would like to come to the US and set up a business, if you would like to get information on markets or other parts of Georgia, we are open. We are very closely aligned with the Georgia government. Atlanta has been rated, as far as the state capital, the #1 business city in the world. We have the world's largest airport and the 3rd largest port in the USA. We are built for business, and we are very, very interested in helping Indian entrepreneurs not only import, but also if you are requiring exports, we have a very large division as that. So thank you for the opportunity to meet all of you. I hope that, and we will post our information on the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Smita.
Thank you, Mr. David. Thank you for being here. And we'll put the information in the chat details for everyone. I can see Mr. Shiv Agarwal. So would you like to share some comments?
Well, one good thing is that thank you very much. It's a wonderful information. And the only thing is I would like to see improvement from India imports is the timings and the quality control. These two things are extremely important when the product are continuously keep coming year after years. And I know I am in the hotel also, and we buy all the carpet from American industries, but we would like to see little more imports from India. And let's keep a good control on the quality and the timings. Thank you very much.
Point taken, sir. I hope our members are also making note of the inputs we are receiving. If there is anyone else from the US side, we would like to invite them on the floor. Otherwise, I would invite our members to kindly to give a brief introduction about their company and the products they are dealing in.
Yes, Smita, can I say something?
Yeah, please. Please, sir.
I just wanted to let you know on the bank side, we have financed a carpet manufacturer in Panipat. He bought a warehouse in Atlanta from my bank, and we financed him. So if anybody wants to open a warehouse for their products or have some kind of connection and need a banking requirement, this bank is owned by all of us Indians. So we'll be glad to serve. We understand your needs. We understand all the KYC and Bank Secrecy Act requirements and stuff. So I'll just make it easier for them, instead of them going to the banks where they don't understand who they are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We will be definitely sharing the contact details with all the members who are interested in the services. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I represent Chaco Hospitality Floors out of Cleveland, Tennessee. This is a family-owned business. My family originally is from Kerala, parents, and we manufacture carpet for the hospitality industry here in the U.S. It's all Indian-owned, just a family business. We do import some. All of our yarn currently is made from the U.S. Everything we do is in the U.S. We're not handmade carpets, but we do sometimes partner with other people that make handmade carpets. So I think it would be a good opportunity, and thank you for the invite to partner with some of you maybe in the future on doing rugs. But if we can be of any assistance in the machine side, I know that's not what everybody here does, but that's what we specialize in on the hospitality side. So if we can be of any help or do any partnerships with you guys on yarn or any other materials or anything, we would love to do that. And I can give you my information or get information and be in contact with all of you.
Thank you. We'll be sharing the contact details with all the members, and we'll be sharing the details of our members as well with everyone. Thank you. So I think now we can invite our members. I would like the representative of Gallery Rugs, Mr. Rohit, to kindly give a brief introduction about your company as well as the products you deal in. Mr. Rohit.
Hello, everyone. My company name is Gallery, a unit of the Rug Center, Badoing. The heritage of Gallery Rugs goes back to 1976, when our grandfather, late Mr. Harish Chandra Gupta, established it foundation in small hamlet of Badoing, India, as the Rug Center. He was joined in 1981 by his son, Mr. Umesh Kumar Gupta, who at very young age took the leadership role in the company and took it to new heights, winning numerous national awards along with the way making the Rug Center a formidable brand in the carpet community globally. Gallery Rugs aims to continue its tradition and become one of the leading manufacturer exporters of hand knotted carpets, handloom carpets, Indo-Tibetan, hand tufted, hand woven daris, kilims from India. Thank you. Thank you, Smita ji.
Do we have a representative of Agni? I think he had some issues with his connection. So this presentation is going to be shared with all the attendees. Maybe we can move to the next. AVA International. I would like to add that these members who are displaying their product details and their company details, they are all our India Carpet Expo exhibitors. The India Carpet Expo, which is scheduled for next month, where we have almost more than 200 exhibitors who are participating. We will be sharing the directory of all the exhibitors with the attendees. We can move on to the next. Can we move to the next slide? Badohi Cotton Company. Do we have a representative? They are manufacturers and exporters of hand-knotted woolen carpets. They have been in the carpet business for long, since 1991. I think the representative of Badohi Cotton is available. Sir, if you're available, if you could quickly give an introduction of your company and your products. Maybe we can move to the next slide. CL Rug Industries. They specialized in Tibetan weave, tufted carpets, handloom carpets, knotted carpets. The website details are also available. Next slide, please. Carpet Beauty. Next slide, please. Representative from Deonathpur Overseas. The contact details are mentioned. They are specializing in handmade rugs and flat weave rugs. Next slide, please. Looms and knots. Their website is mentioned below. Next. Mangal Carpets.
Hello, this is Sandeep Singh from
Yes.
Mangal Carpets. we are manufacturing since 1988. Our father founded this company, and we are this is our family business, and we are making modern rugs with bamboo silk, and we are dealing with wholesale also in bulk orders and custom orders also. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have a representative of Navkar Home? Next slide, please. Do we have a representative of Noor Carpet? So I think what we will do is that we will share the contact details of all these with our attendees, and maybe now we can open the floor to the question answers. Maybe you can stop the presentation, Anuj. Yes, thank you. Now that we've heard both sides, the floor is open for any kind of questions.
I have a question. What is the average production time now, realistically, for a handmade carpet and for a tufted carpet? And what are the optimum minimum quantities?
The time for production varies, David, depending on the quality. Tufted rugs, depending on the size of the order, can take about 2 months, or a little over 2 months. Depends on what is the quantity. Actually, India, the strength of India is that there are various product producers and manufacturers, and there's no minimum quantities ideally. But for the importer, unless you have a good 20-foot container, cost-wise, tufted, because the competition is so high, might not work on a LCL basis for you, at least on tufted. So I think it varies in terms of timelines on production, but at least a 20-foot container on a hand tufted would be an ideal quantity price point wise for an importer to compete with others who are importing larger containers.
Thank you. Also, you mentioned in your presentation, I believe Dr. Smitty, about in the new budget, are there new reductions in the export credits that exporters, and particularly in the carpet industry, are going to look at? And what are the ramifications of those long term as you try to take over market share in the world?
Yeah, so India in the last few years has per capita income has grown from a developing country to a developed country, and WTO norms require that we compete across the globe, and there's no subsidy coming our way, which is unjustified. So obviously, duty drawbacks, etc., that we were getting have already been reduced and slowly will be eliminated. So there will be a small price escalation because of that. It's already in there. But I personally feel that we in India are paying very high taxes, and the government has been kind enough to remit some of those taxes locally that we pay on electricity, petrol, diesel, gas, etc. So I think that we are hoping that that revision should happen, and additional money should come our way and reduce the prices going further. But quite honestly, Indian manufacturers and exporters, we're not depending on subsidies and support as much as we are expecting and hoping marketing support and outreach support, not anything else. I think India is well poised to grow without these minuscule 1-2% subsidies or drawbacks that were coming our way, David. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you. So not much of a rate increase should be looking down.
It's already happened about since a year from ago. Obviously, inflation does play an important role, and with escalating gas prices, which which obviously will increase cost of production. So those are variables that we exist in every business, and that's included in our handmade carpet. So I think those variables will continue to increase, of course.
Thank you.
Any more questions, please? I would request our Committee of Administration member, Mr. Bodhraj Malhotra, who has been in the carpet industry himself for many years, to kindly share his thoughts. Sir? Sir, you are on mute. If you could just unmute yourself.
Hi everyone, this is BR from India. I start my career in 1980s in the carpet industries when I was 14 years old. So after 42 years of my carpet experience, I'm focusing in Jaipur for my productions and some more fine qualities. And this is what I'm enjoying in a carpet for last 42 years. So if any query for these fine rugs, you're always welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I think now there are not many questions left. We are towards the end of the session. I would request Madanji to kindly extend a formal vote of thanks.
Swati Kulkarni, Consul General, Shri Umaid Hamid, Chairman, Carpet Export Promotion Council, and all esteemed buyers and sellers who have come for this BSM. Thank you very much for coming here. More than this event, I think it's more necessary that CEPC keep on updating us with more and more information, and whatever takeaways has been there in this meeting, like transportation and GI tagging and quality assurance on quality, these things are taken into account so that the exports are increased. So I once again thank everybody, every one of you for joining us in this BSM, and I hope everybody will gain from whatever we discussed today and try to increase their export or imports from India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to Dr. Swati Kulkarni, ma'am, for giving us an opportunity. Carpet Export Promotion Council will definitely be in touch with you, and we'll keep updating you on the various initiatives and any problem areas of our exporters. And we again thank you so much for all the help and the platform you've provided us and to our members. I thank everyone. I thank all the attendees here. All the attendees, we will be, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be sending the contact details of the both the parties, from the buyers to the sellers and vice versa. A very good day ahead and a very good night to all the members who've joined from India. Thank you so much. Namaste.